So back out with RB, test ride number 3 on a Saturday, and this one is James's bike. Now, if you happen to remember, or go back about a month or so, there is a couple of videos trying to make a Titan fail. This is the same bike, and obviously customer had it back, and about a week later he's like, oh, it's cutting out again, it's doing this, it's doing that. We've been right through the bike, and as you've seen from the previous 2 videos, I could not get it to replicate the fault. So he's come in again, obviously had it a week, and it's come back to us, and my technicians have been on it, and he went, right, we're going to start changing parts out. So it has had brand new ECU, or a CDI, I think they call it an ECU CDI unit. It's had a new electronic carburettor, it's had a new throttle position sensor, it's had a new idle air adjustment valve, it's had everything connected to the injection system, because that is the only thing that we can think it is, that it's going to be fuel starvation. And obviously if he's getting it really, really hot and obviously pulling up, is it getting fuel starvation? There is absolutely nothing wrong with the electrics. They plugged on every time with diagnostics and 0 fault codes. Nothing is coming up. And obviously an inherent fault, unless we can actually get it on the day of test riding to do what it wants to do and fail, hence why I did those 2 rides, but we couldn't get anything out of it. So it's up to me. We've changed everything up. I've got 4,007 on the clock at the moment, and I'm going to crack up a shed load of mileage. So hence you can obviously not see the bike, it's just got a seat on it at the moment, but it has no side paddles on this bike. We've literally left it stripped bare. The simple reason being, the last thing the technician wants to do, if it does fail, is to be taking all the panels off again after putting them back on. So he's basically chucked the seat bucket in for me and went, get out and test ride, which is what I'm doing, full throttle. And we're going to run this up and down the dual carriageway. I'm going to try and make this thing fail or replicate the fault, but hopefully with this new throttle system, with all the injection unit and throttle position sensors and idle air control valves and you name it, they've changed it, and it's all been done under warranty from Lexmoto. Thank you guys, and the boys know who they are. I'm watching out for Bell End that is coming round the roundabout. Oh, it's a BMW. What do you expect? So we're going to do this, we're going to run to the end of the roundabout, and obviously those that have watched the previous videos, you know where I'm coming out of. That's where we normally do our photo shoots now, at the Caldecott, as it used to be called the windmill. They've taken the windmill down, still known as the Caldecott. It's absolutely packed in there today, everybody is out enjoying the sunshine. Should be distancing peoples, keeping yourself distanced, don't let the R number go up. Right, we're sitting at 60 mile an hour, same as I did on the other Titan yesterday. Now, to update you on Dan's Titan yesterday, and I took Dan's out for quite a long ride, and I kept sitting at a 65 mile an hour. He took that home last night, and I said to him, let me know how you get on there. He lives in Hemel Hempstead. So it was about a 35 mile drive from the garage, and I gave him my personal WhatsApp. Now Dan texted me last night and said, the bike's all good, I've not had an issue. I went, that's just your first day. I want you to text me every single day. Don't obviously message the garage, because we're not here over the weekend, because we're not going to pick your messages up, although Facebook does answer and say, you know, we'll contact you as soon as possible. It depends if there's anybody on the Facebook or got their phone with them, whether they can answer it. So I said, you have my personal WhatsApp, the slightest issue whatsoever, pick the phone up, give me a call, or send me a text message. So Dan has my number. Now obviously I am on holiday next week, but I can obviously always forward my WhatsApp messages on to the garage team and say, look, customer's got this, customer's got that. So, which is one of the things that I don't normally do. I tend not to share out my WhatsApp number or my phone number, but if it is a very good customer or they are a priority one, I make that, or we make that, an absolute necessity that the customer gets in contact with us as soon as possible. But so far so good. And obviously James's bike today is behaving. It's doing what it needs to do, so I think the issue may now have been resolved. I'm just hoping it has. And obviously he uses this as a daily commute, so he's got our loan bike at the moment, which is a geared bike, and he's loving a geared bike. I said to him, get yourself a geared bike, when you come to the time, trade your Titan in, get yourself a geared bike, because obviously gears are better on a long run than a twist and go scooter. Anything is always better than automatic. Right, we're going to be out having a nice long run on this. I'm enjoying the sunshine today. Makes a change from the miserable mornings that I normally have test riding bikes. So happy days today. Sun is out. I might even obviously get the ZX-7 out tonight and give her a clean, get her prepped up and go for a run tomorrow. And have a little bit of fun on the bike. Now obviously our bike cap's not open, which is an absolute pain in the bum, but I'm sure there's going to be a few of the boys on the Facebook page tonight. I'm having a run to here, or I'm having a run to there. I might tag on and join in with the pack. So this bike's sitting at 60 mile an hour. We are going to switch lanes again, back down the dual carriageway. Couple more blasts. I'm going to give this at least a 30-minute run, so it's going to be yet another one of those long videos. And put up the yawn emoji here somewhere. Which is what someone said to me. He said, if you're doing a long run, can you just like hit it in the fast forward or something? I can't do that, because obviously for the purposes of ride testing, I would love to obviously fast forward, yeah, but if that bike is spluttering and I'm fast forwarding the video, you're not going to see the issue. So, which is why I tend to do such a long full video when it becomes a inherent problem with the bike. Normally on test rides, if everything's good, we normally edit out and drop the video to about 10 minutes just to make it nice and quick for those Lexmoto owners just to watch the videos. But anything longer, so any faults, ECUs, electricals or fueling issues, we tend to leave the full video in. But loving the sunshine today. Now if you happen to be on the live stream last night, and I did post that up on the RB channel on Facebook. We had a little bit of fun last night on a channel called Burning Gas, Hauling Gas. Gavin, lovely guy from Scotland, and if you haven't seen his beard, you have to check out that beard. That is just so cool. He's got such a cool beard, all nice and straight and all combed, and it does look really cool. And obviously Mrs. Bob went, you're not having a beard that long. She does want me to shave it off. I'm going to be doing a vote on it soon. So does the beard stay or does the beard go? I like it. She hates it. And the story continues. So what we're going to be doing over the next week or so is, obviously the guys at the garage have still got a lot of test rides. I'm doing all my test rides today to try and get as much cleared for them during the week, so they haven't got to worry about bikes going out or test riding going out. We've got a lot of new bikes coming out. There is an unveiling this coming Monday the 19th, 10 o'clock. Lexmoto are releasing another bike. I do know what the bike is. I am sworn to secrecy and punishment of death if I mention anything, so I'm not going to say that, but I am going to say that you are going to be impressed. But we are awaiting Titans. I could really desperately do with some Titans or some 125 scooters at the moment, but there is nothing in stock anywhere in the country, and that's all just down to that damn container ship and the Suez Canal. So we will obviously see what happens. And find out when the next delivery is. Now we have been told ETA of new bikes 1st to the 3rd week of May, hopefully. But obviously there's a lot of crates coming through, a lot of bikes got to be unloaded and then obviously shipped out to dealers. So most of the dealers across the country are all in that same boat, but we will see what happens. But obviously going back to the live stream last night, and I've sort of gone off on a tangent again. Live stream last night, burning gas, hauling ass, and there was quite a few of the big bike bloggers in the room. There was a lot from the States in there, there was a lot from Canada, a couple of the English guys in there, me and Jim Diesel, and obviously Gavin from up in Scotland. And we were chatting about just bikes in general, what bike really floats your boat, and how all the bikers in the room all had beards. And it got onto the subject, and you can actually go and see it on his channel. It is absolutely hilarious. Bikes, Beards and Brews has done a little review on the new rear rock helmet, and it's exactly as he said. You know, it was a little bit tongue-in-cheek, it was a little bit in jest, and he didn't have a dig as such, but he had a pop at the rear rock helmet. Is it worth the money? You know, what do you think of it? It's exactly the same as the 3 previous models, and they've marketed it. Oh yes, lovely, lovely, lovely. Their new one, it has obviously the wireless in it, so it's got the headset built into it, which is the same as what my LS2 has. But their one is built into the back of the helmet, so turn it on, back of the helmet, and it's got a clip-in unit, so all you got to do is literally slide it in at the back of the helmet, clip it in and turn it on, and it goes live. Great, until you realise all the buttons to turn it on and off and adjust it and do what you need to do are on the back of the helmet. Why would you put your controls at the back of the helmet? So you're going down the road, you've got a geared bike, and okay, I've got to try and find the back of my helmet. If you've got heavy levers on, or you've got a big textile jacket, how the hell are you going to sort of do that and reach for the back of your helmet? You're not going to get there. Which is strangely weird why they've mounted that there. Unless, of course, it's one of these that's voice activated. You obviously say something, and away it goes. Ooh, nice little retro bike there. It's a sweet one. But yeah, beggars belief, why would you put a phone and everything at the back of the helmet? And the only thing is, obviously, if you're out riding, 9 times out of 10, if you're going to come off, you're going to either impact the front or the side. But sometimes, if you're going down if you're doing something like a track day, you've got a rear rock on, a lot of track riders, when they go down, tend to slide on their back. What's the first thing that's going to be caught? That unit is going to be whacked at the back of the helmet. So, okay. And obviously, we were talking about other helmets. All the guys were obviously showing off their Arais and their Shoeis. And I've spent a lot of money on Arai and Shoei over the years. But everyone said to me, God, what the hell what is that helmet? I showed them my helmet last night, and they went, what the hell is that helmet? I'm running an LS2 Valiant, it's called. It's a hybrid helmet. Then when you lift obviously the chin bit up, it goes right over the back of the helmet, and you've still got your visor down. It's got an internal sunscreen. But the one thing that obviously sold it for me is the intercom is in your chin strap. So I've got the battery on the left hand side, and then up on the right hand side is just 3 buttons. The very top one is up, the bottom one is down, and the big one in the middle, which is very easy to find because it's indented, is your on and off button. And you can also press it and it becomes voice activated, so it links to your phone. You can press it, hey Google, give me the directions to, or hey Google, where's my nearest garage? Then when you obviously turn that on, if you've got your helmet on and you turn it on, you arm it, it goes, the Bluetooth is now paired. Brilliant. Hit it, okay Google, give me the directions to Super Sausage Cafe. away it goes, brings up my directions. Obviously I know where Super Sausage is, so I don't need directions, but if I was going to sort of go via a friend's house, okay Google, give me the address, and I say something like MK9 blah blah blah, it would take me across his house and I'd get all my directions in my headphones without even touching my phone. Brilliant idea from LS2. And the best thing is, obviously this helmet is so lightweight. I'm on my 3rd test ride now, and it's not feeling heavy at all on my shoulders, which you would normally feel if you've got a heavier helmet on. And obviously a lot of the riders go for the carbons. I had a nice little Craft Barracuda in carbon, but they don't make the Craft anymore. I would love to get another Craft helmet. If you know a supplier that's got a Craft anywhere, and it has to be a Barracuda, and it's got to be the RXX7, which normally retails for about 400 quid, then let me know. So what we're going to do one run up the hill, back down the dual carriageway, and while I've been waffling, I've left my indicator on. Typical, everyone's going typical scooter rider, blah, 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 yob. Oh, loving it. But nothing so far, and I've got 4021 on the clock now, so we're still cracking some mileage up. But obviously I'm trying to do a long run as the customer do, hence why this is such a long and boring video. Put up the emoji with the yawn again. But yeah, moving on from the helmets, it got onto the other subjects of obviously Harley Davidsons. We were chatting bikes. What do you think of the new Suzuki Hayabusa? And I'm like, okay. And if you are looking obviously at reviews of the new Suzuki Hayabusa, there is only a couple of reviews that I recommend. All the others aren't all that. And 44 Teeth, have a look at his review. But probably the best one, Lamb Chops Rides. Chopsy, good old Chopsy, has done such a great review of that Hayabusa. Is it worth the money? No, it's not. It's a pile of crap. That's his personal opinion. As for my personal opinion, would I buy a Hayabusa? Overpriced, underrated. I would, if I wanted a Hayabusa, I'd go back and buy one from the early 90s or the 2000s. They were so much better back then. They've just abortionized the new Hayabusa. That's a personal opinion. You know, obviously it's not a slate at Suzuki's. They could have got so much more. They could have gone full colour TFT screen. They could have gone, you know, changed the panels up a bit. They could have gone aftermarket luggage. There is nothing in that line. You know, they could have spent so much more on the marketing, and it's like, oh, we're struggling to sell a bike, what should we do? Oh, let's redo the Hayabusa and just to farm it out again with Euro 5. Doesn't appeal to me, sorry, not a lover of the new Hayabusa. What I am a lover of, and same person again, Lamb Chops Rides, is that H2 of his. He has got that H2, and it literally looks like the H2R. He's got the full carbon, he's got so many extras on that bike. Chopsy, that bike of yours does cause a huge stirring in the trouser department. When you look at it, it's like, that bike is just pure sex. And it's even better now because he's put a supercharged blow-off valve. Go and watch that video. Lamb Chops Rides is definitely worth a watch. Tell him Rev Bob sent you to watch this video. You will be in awe. Riding it, and obviously it's got your normal supercharged dump valve normally would dump off into the airbox. His dumps straight out to atmosphere, so as he's rolling off the throttle, you're getting, and it literally sounds like someone's opening a compressor tank. That bike sounds so sweet. And if you're a lover of supercharged bikes, especially the H2s, and I'm Team Green Kawasaki all the way, that bike is just absolutely gorgeous. And with that dump valve now, oh god, if I won the lottery tomorrow, I'd be on the phone, Chopsy, sell me your bike, sell me. He'd probably tell me to go and do one, because he's spent so much money. He's had it dynoed, he's done this, he's done that, but Chopsy has got such a gorgeous H2, and I am a lover of the H2R. Not you know, the most comfortable bike in the world to ride, but just for looks, power, performance, there is nothing on this planet that can match that H2. and especially the way he's got it. ZSX-R would give it a run, probably to about 10 mile an hour, and then the H2 would blap all over it. But I would love to see what Kawasaki are going to be doing shortly, because obviously the ZSX-R range is discontinued. I would love to see them push out the ZSX-R again, but supercharged. Just the thought of that, and obviously the original H2, the original ZSX-Rs were about 197 brake. If you haven't seen the ZSX-R ride that I done today, go and watch the video on that. I have one. Mine's a Gen 2 Performance Sport or Performance Edition, and it's got all the K-Track ABS and powers on it. You can play around with all the buttons till kingdom come. But absolutely beautiful. But I'd love to see a supercharged version, or you know, something along the lines of that ZSX-R Tourer with a supercharged engine in it, and just see what the performance, what they could do with the performance of it, or even bring out a turbo version. I'd love to see a supercharged version though. But Kawasaki have a lot of new bikes coming, obviously the ZX-10 and the new Z1000s. A lot of stuff coming out from them, but Team Green all the way, guys. Kawasaki are just pushing the boundaries every time they release a new bike. But I'd love to see them continue with the old models, and especially obviously the Ninja range. The Ninja range, especially the old ones now, are fetching a lot of money. So we're just awaiting all that info to come through. As for James's bike, we're still here, we're still waffling along, and 4,027, so I've done 20k on the bike now. Still racking up more. It's not failed on me yet. And not like that ZSX-R did earlier. Oh, I thought 5.5 litres of fuel. Oh, Team Green. Yeah, I took the ZSX-R out earlier. Muppets! I thought 5.5 litres of fuel is going to be enough to do once or twice down the dual carriageway. I got literally, must have been about a quarter of a mile from the garage, and it stuttered on me. I'm like, oh damn it, I ran out of fuel. I had to push it to the local filling station. Talk about an embarrassment, because I spotted about 5 or 6 bikers on the way, and they all pointed the finger and nodded at me, and I'm like, yeah, thanks boys. So yeah, you've got to say, oh, fill the thing up with some fuel, because it did half eat the fuel quick, and I obviously I pushed it, got it back to the garage after putting a tenner's worth of fuel in. Phil went, how's your legs? Buckling. How's your muscles? Aching? You're not going to run your bike out of fuel then? I went, no, I always keep my bikes literally fully fueled all the time. My ZX is filled to the brim every time. But look, I wish it had a reserve tank on it. I could have flicked it over reserve and got me home, but ZSX-Rs don't have a reserve tank. You just get fuel low, fuel low. Yeah, I wish I hadn't gone out with fuel low. Hence why this one, ride tested, I've got a full tank on this one. I won't take any chances today. But sitting at 60 still, and it's full plate driver. Thank you for chaining lanes right at the last minute. Space cushioning, as we always say. Oh, if you're going to sit in the middle lane, thank you very much. So obviously running around, heading back to the garage now. I think we've done as much as we can do with this. I think it's holding its revs at around about 1500. So final couple of K back to the garage. Oh, and I'm going to get a bit of air in my visor. Lovely. Enjoying the sunshine, as they say. But it's not doing anything. It's performing. Sat out on the grass eating the McDonald's. Happy days. And there's a lot more, obviously, now that lockdown has eased a little bit, there's a lot more people out. Everybody is out shopping today. Just look at the traffic. But the one thing about being on a bike, you can filter. Obviously I'm going to be turning left here, so I'm just going to sit in the traffic and wait. But just rolling on tick over, and hand on my knee, one hand on the bar, just rolling along nice and gently, enjoying the breeze, enjoying the sunshine. She is absolutely not packing up on me. Couldn't have asked for a better thing, and this is now the third time I've tried to make this Titan fail. Even pulling up hard, it's just sitting there and ticking over. It's gone from 2, drops back down to 1500 as you'd expect it to. So yeah, we're going to head back to the garage. I'm going to get my last little bit of mileage on it, round the roundabouts, back to town and back to the garage, book it in for a technician and put the panels back on it, and then hook it out on its way. So yet another long video from RB, but obviously this was a fault finding test ride. It gives me time to just waffle on and tell you about the stuff that's been going on the tube for the time being, and what we've been doing, and updates and bikes and all the other bits. And so when you're talking to yourself, you get the car drivers looking at you. Who the hell are you talking to? I am motovlogging. Obviously we're going to due to catch up with a couple of bikers over the next week or so while I am off. I'm going to try and catch up with Locks, the man with the LXR that rides it like he stole it but looks after his bike. I'm going to try and catch up with Uncle Red and get a ride in with Newrider as well. See if the boys are about for a ride this Sunday. And let's just see how many people cut into the wrong lane on this roundabout. So, my favourite little bit of roundabout, we pull away and sitting in, and this is my lane, and yet again, car driver, totally wrong lane, oblivious to the fact that there's two big white lines there. Follow the white lines, and oh look, he's actually come round to the offside of me. Another one that got his licence out of a cornflake packet. No, he's gone completely round the roundabout, so totally the wrong lane. And as a lot of my friends would say in the States or in the UK, noob, that's what we always call them. And another one, left hand lane, going straight over. Another cornflake packet license holder, as we call them. And we always say, if you're a car driver, who do I look out for? Well, I don't look out for anybody. Am I a cyclist? Who do I look out for? You're looking out for motorcyclists and car drivers, because both of those are out to kill you. Motorcycle rider, yeah, everybody, treat everybody like they're an assassin. They're out to knock you off that bike. That's what we always say if you're a bike rider. So, heading back to the garage, final bit of the test run, guys. We're going to be out on yet another bike in a minute. So, ride test number 4. I've got 7 to do today, and see how many I can do. So, ride test over. As always, finish off with a be well, ride safe, and it's a big goodbye from me. See you on the next one.